Hey guys, so it's been a minute, it's been like a couple of weeks. I just want to get this out of the way right now. The reason I took a little break was because of January just sucks. I'm sorry if you think otherwise, but it just sucks. Like, you feel trapped inside, that's without COVID and whatnot, and I just really wasn't vibing with it and I felt kind of burned out. So that's why I took a break. Today's video, it's going to be about this boomer teacher breaking my kindergarten teacher's rocking chair, right? It's going to be interesting, and it was really funny. But as always, I'm sorry if there's any noise in the background. That's my family existing, and let's get into it. Okay, so I had like one of the best kindergarten teachers I think you could possibly get. She was super nice. I mean, she let us watch like videos at the end of the day, and like, I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but like when it's summertime and like 80 degrees out, and like the lights in the classroom are turned off, but there's windows, and the sun comes through and it's warm. Like watching a video, and that's a vibe. That's like the best vibe ever. So like, this teacher, amazing, 10 out of 10, right? But every now and then she had to go away. She was pregnant. I'm pretty sure she was getting stuff done because that's what you need to do when you're pregnant. I don't know. I'm not a girl. I whatever. But we had this one teacher, substitute teacher, not a teacher. So we've had this. This was the first time I've seen him, right? But after this, I've saw him several more times in my elementary school. But this guy, he was pretty. He was a bit round. Like, and he was old too. He was like 60 or 70, like old. So this guy, he comes, sits down in her rocking chair, right? Which I just didn't like. Even when I was sitting there, it felt kind of off. It's like, you have a gut, man. It might be a bit too heavy. I didn't say that, of course, because I don't want to get screamed at, but I should have said that in hindsight, right? So the day's going on fine, and I just want to say one thing for the record. This substitute was an absolute butthole. He was the meanest sub I've ever had. He was like a military drill sergeant. It's like, bro, you're teaching kindergarteners, not people about to go fight in Vietnam. Like, come on. He only screamed at 3 5-year-olds that day, which wasn't that bad. I mean, normally he'd scream at 4 normal people, but yeah, 3 5-year-olds, that seems like a fair trade-off. But anyways, we get back from lunch, which might have actually been one of the reasons. But this guy goes to sit down in the rocking chair, and I guess he was a bit comfortable at this point in the day, because he just kind of plops down in it. Now, normally, on a normal chair, what would happen is it would just kind of maybe shake a little bit, at most. Because, like, it's, like, a lot of weight. But, like, normally a chair wouldn't sweat it. But this rocking chair, I think it was, like, your grandmother's or something. It was old, though. So this rocking chair, the bottom of it just snaps. Okay, but like this chair, it didn't just snap, like sometimes cheap furniture will creak a little bit. Now it was more of a like pop sound snap, like it. And this man, he just falls through the bottom of this rocking chair, which, to be honest, he shouldn't have been sitting in because anyone with 2 brain cells would realize, that math don't add up. It's like 50 years old. You shouldn't do that, right? But this happens, and a group full of 5-year-olds, they started laughing. Because what else would you do? He just broke the rocking chair. It's like, are you going to cry? No, were we all mildly pissed off about it? Yeah, we were. And we were also kind of like uneasy because it's like, it was a really awkward situation. Like, what do you do? So, one kid's default reaction to it is to start to laugh. And then everyone laughs. And this guy, he gets pissed off. Like, I think he forgot that it was a group of 5-year-olds and thought it was a bunch of, like, adults his age. And he was like, stop it! Trying to be all tough. And it was funny, okay? I'm sorry. In hindsight, we shouldn't have laughed. But it was funny. So, here's this grown man just broke a rocking chair. And now he's screaming at a bunch of 5-year-olds to stop laughing at him for it, right? So then he has to pull up the teacher's, the school gave teachers rolling chairs. He had to pull that one up. So the rest of the day goes on, and this man never recovered from it. Like, it just never happened. But the rest of the day goes on fine. We go home, no big deal, right? Next day, the teacher comes in, and I feel so bad for her, man. This group of 5-year-olds is like, sub broke chair. And she had to piece together all these different stories and whatnot. But at the end of the day, she just got really pissed off at that substitute. and I don't think he ever subbed in our class again. But then a couple years later, so probably like in 2nd or 3rd grade, we had this sub again, right? Now, this sub, see, so me and my friends, we had never fully forgotten about that, because that's quite a traumatic experience personally, you know? It's like, bro, you broke a rocking chair, you want us to forget about that? No, we ain't doing that, dog. No. So, of course, we don't forget about it. And the whole time he's subbing, we're just kind of, not even while he was subbing, it was more of like during lunch, we started making jokes like, hey, that was the guy who broke the rocking chair. And from that day forward, it was just, like, whenever he tried to be tough and whatnot, and assert his dominance over a bunch of elementary schoolers, we still kind of laughed in our heads because we knew that he broke a rocking chair. And once you do that, you can't be tough anymore. All of your toughness points are gone. Now, this story, I have a second one for you guys. I haven't uploaded in a while, so this is what you get, you know. The second crazy sub-story was actually in the 3rd grade, right? So this was at the time of the year that we had just gotten our recorders. Now, if you don't go to school in, like, America, and probably some schools in America don't even do this anymore, but my school, and my brother's still in it, they still do recorders, right? These are, like, stupid little flute things that are less complicated than a flute. It's like a fiddle, but slightly more expensive. It's basically just a plastic tube with some holes in it, and a whistle. So they made us learn these. It was so annoying. Like, this is just going to be me ranting for a wee bit, but it's so annoying. It's like, now I play the guitar, right? That playing a recorder didn't help me to play a guitar. And then when they did have us do guitars, it was like you each got to play for 5 minutes, kind of learning a chord, but not really. And then you had to pass it on to the next guy. Like, I love music, right? I love making music. I love listening to it. But I hated those music classes. They were just the worst, man. Because it's just a general overlay, and just like, no. But whatever. Now, we had all gotten our recorders, and they brought us back in, like, this, I guess it was more of a laundry basket, but it was a plastic laundry basket. Like, something you could find at Target. So we brought them back in that, right? Now, personally, I think it was an awful idea, because the saliva gets everywhere, and ugh. But, oh well, you know, this was before everyone was a germaphobe with a pandemic. But this teacher, right, so first of all, in the second half of the day, we were supposed to be writing an essay to some extent, right? Now, I think we were supposed to spend the first bit doing that and the second bit doing science or whatever, but we're all writing, right? And now, this is the impression she gave us. She was like a 21-year-old. During lunch, she was playing on her phone, which normally, you know, in middle school and high school and college, it's normal. It's like, I'm going to be on my phone. But in elementary school, when no one had a phone, none of the teachers used their phones, it was very out of place. And, like, the teacher pet girls, they all played on it. They were like, oh, it was so fun. Really annoying. But whatever. So we get back to class, right? So we're about 15 or 20 minutes into writing this essay, right? I had just finished the first paragraph, I think, or something like that. I wasn't far in. But she says, this is boring. Let's do something else. Now, for those of you who are homeschooled, probably a very small percentage, a substitute teacher is given, like, a plan that's, like, their lesson for the day, and they're not supposed to go off of that, because that's what the teacher wants the kids to do so they can go back the next day and know what they've done. But this girl just says, nope, screw that, I'm getting paid either way, suck my balls. Not that she had balls, she was a girl, but that's beyond the point. Now, the game she had us playing, it wasn't even a game. It was like, okay, I saw this one thing on the internet, and it was like, if we all lie down in a circle and our heads are all together, and, like, it was really stupid. And then, like, you count the numbers up to however many you can go, and, like, you say it when you feel like it's your turn to say it, but you don't actually communicate with anyone. So it was like, kid A would say 1, then kid B would say 2, then kid C would say 3, then kid A and kid B would say 4 at the same time, and that round would be over because they both said it at the same time, right? Now, this was a pretty smacking game. You know, she turned off the lights, and I was in, like, the circle of where you were actually playing it. Looking back on it, I would have much rather been able to just put an AirPod in and relax at the back of the classroom, because I don't know, there's something nice about, like, having sunlight in a classroom, like I said earlier, with the lights off in the summer. It's a vibe. But, like, we were playing this, right? And, like, a lot of time goes by, like, maybe 45 minutes. So, like, this is towards the end of the day, right? And then she had us play a different variation of it. Lame. Whatever. And I must say, me and my friend, we got very competitive with it. We got it, so we were just chanting the numbers back and forth. And we got to, like, 30, I think, before... Or no, it was 70 before someone else butted in and ruined it. But oh well. So, you know, at the end of the day, these girls go and say, teacher, teacher. You'll remember that from the collab I did with Tegan. If you actually watched his, like, a good subscriber. I really don't care. As long as you're subscribed to me, you're good. But, you know, like, they go, oh, can we play on the recorders? We just got them. So, normally, like, I'm all for someone playing music in a classroom at the end of the day. If they're competent with their instrument and know how to play, like, even if you're not playing a song, just play a chord progression or something, you know? Not hard. It'll something that sounds good and isn't incoherent. Something that's not, doesn't sound stupid, right? But these girls, they just gotten them today, which was awful timing. So they go, I'll actually grab one, give me a sec so you guys can hear how bad they sounded. Okay, here we go. I just needed to pull it out of my closet because I haven't touched it in 5 years because the instrument's stupid. But, oh god, this reminds me, they had these, like, belts on them. I guess it was like karate. Like, you started with a white belt and worked your way up, and it was, like, for different songs. It was really stupid. But this is the kind of inaudible noise you would be treated to. No, give me a second. Oh, I just woke up my cat. I'm sorry, Henry. But whatever, that was what it sounded like to some extent. So, needless to say, the rest of the school knew that we were doing this because it was a really small school. Now, we all go home and the girls were like, yeah, we know how to play an instrument. And I think some of them even played it on the bus until the bus driver told them to shut the heck up because it was so annoying. But, you know, not good at all. So, the next day, the teacher comes in, right? This teacher was amazing, but when she got mad, she got mad. This is the same teacher that had to deal with the kids pooping in the urinal. That teacher had a lot of crap to deal with that year. But, basically what happened was she was like, hey, yo, why'd you play your recorders yesterday at the end of school? And the girls were like, wait, we weren't supposed to do that. Like, I think one of them started crying. It was like, ooh, I didn't mean to do that. Ooh, the teacher said it was okay. And my teacher was like, what did you just say? The girl said, the substitute said it was okay. And then after that, everyone started ratting out everything the sub did. Ah, man. I feel bad for that sub. We never saw her again, probably because she just got dropped instantly, which I don't blame the school, you know? If you're not going to do your job, you shouldn't have the job. But that's basically the story of two of the most crazy substitute teachers I've ever heard, like, seen exist. And that's going to do it for the video, guys. Oh my god, this is 20 minutes. Oh well, hopefully it's not 20 minutes in post. Yeah, that's it for the video. See you in the next one. Peace.